Welcome to the BZ&E Committee meeting. It is October 15th, 2025. It's 4:04 p.m. And please call the roll.
Chairperson Mike Seville,
Present.
Vice Chair Patty Smith,
Here.
Alderman Javier Bañuelos,
Here.
Alderwoman Juani Garza,
Here.
Alderman at Large Will White, 4 present.
Okay, thank you. First item on the agenda is the approval of the minutes, 25-0760, approval of the minutes from the BZ&E Committee meeting held on September 24th, 2025. Is there a
So moved.
motion?
Second.
Moved by Alderwoman Smith, second by Alderwoman Garza. Any questions? Any corrections, deletions, or additions? All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye opposed, motion carried 4-0. Any members of the public wishing to give testimony?
We have no one signed up.
Okay, we'll go to the agenda then. We're going to move around just one item. We'll take the last one first, 25-0774. This is a resolution approving a final plan on Lot 19 of Fox Valley Properties Phases 2 subdivision located at 3046 East New York Street for business and professional office use. Welcome.
Hi, good afternoon. Joanna Wu, planner, presenting as staff for the final plan on Lot 19 of Fox Valley Properties.
Can
Phase
we
2
hear you?
subdivision.
You want to put
This
yeah.
better?
Better, yes, thank you.
Awesome. All right, I'm here to present for the final plan on Lot 19 of Fox Valley Properties. So a little bit of background, the subject property is located at 3046 East New York Street and is currently vacant with Business Boulevard with a conditional use zoning, which is part of the Fox Valley Properties conditional use plan development. The petitioner is requesting approval of a final plan. The details of the request include the development of a 5,310 square foot medical office. Currently, the property has shared access with an adjacent property and is proposing an additional access point on the north side. The medical office will also provide 32 parking spaces, 2 of which will be handicapped. The landscape plan provides street trees, shrubs, understory trees, and landscaping and parking islands. The only thing to note is the street trees provided on East New York Street will be planted not in the public right-of-way to match the surrounding properties and to avoid disrupting the overhead utilities. And the stormwater detention ponds will be adequately landscaped with shrubs and trees. The building and signage elevations show a one-story building with a height of 25 feet, and the building material will be comprised of brick on the lower half and painted walls on the upper half. There will also be awnings, aluminum awnings on all sides, and illuminated wall signage will be provided on all sides of the building as well, and monument signs measuring in 8 feet will also be installed along the property line. That is all I have to present. Do we have any questions for staff? If not, we can invite the petitioner for any presentations.
Alderwoman Smith.
Just a quick question. What is the adjacent property that shares parking?
Adjacent property is I believe it's another
It's a Walgreens next door.
Walgreens
It's Walgreens.
pharmacy.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay, so now I know. So it's between the two brothers' car, whatever it is, car oil change place, and then so that property's been vacant forever. Thank goodness. It's a great thing to go there.
Any other questions?
No.
Right.
Is there a motion?
Motion.
Moved by Alderwoman Garza, second by Alderwoman Smith. Any further discussion or questions of staff? All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye opposed, motion carried 4-0. Is the petitioner here? You guys want to say anything? You've come all this way. We appreciate you being here.
We'll be quick. Thank you for us being here. I think we'd just like to say that U Chicago Medicine, in partnership with Advent Health, Century Care, and Urgent Care, is just excited to come to the community. It's furthering their mission to bring care close to home and give the community better access to care. This facility will be an urgent care, but also have on-site imaging, on-site labs. So a great midpoint, or even to be used as a primary care office. So things that are non-life threatening but urgent will be supported here. Also, if you go here and need additional care, it'll be in the network of a hospital system. So different than a doctor's office. So if you have an issue, you'll be directly funneled into that system to be able to get whatever needs that you may have. Or if you need to be transferred off-site, you'd go directly and not have to go through any intermediary. So we appreciate the time and thank you for the consideration.
Can I ask a question?
Yeah, absolutely.
So, may I?
Please.
and I could have asked her, I didn't think about it. So
Hmm?
when you pull into there, obviously coming in on and off New York Street would be difficult. Will you be able to come back through the back way like you can to get into the bank and then to get into
There's a
the-
northern entrance proposed.
Yes,
And so
okay.
you've got joint shared interest with Christian Brothers on the south side. So you've got full circulation around the building, both sides. all the way.
Perfect. Yeah, because it's going to be too difficult to come on and off New York Street
Yeah.
for people.
So you can get to the back and then get back to Walgreens.
Yeah, great. Thank you.
Yes.
Could you state your name for,
Ryan Kingery, Jameson Commercial.
okay, thank you.
Thank you.
Actually, I have a quick
Yes,
question, Chairman.
Alderman Ben Reynolds.
So you said you're going to be, they're going to be able to be admitted or transferred over to the hospital.
That would be in such cases that if you were to go and needed something beyond,
Okay,
right, you don't need to go anywhere else. They would be able to transfer you immediately.
okay.
Occasionally, some comes with, like, you wouldn't want to go, if it's life-threatening, obviously, you'd go to the hospital, but sometimes things may change, and so you've got that direct access into the system.
Are you going to be affiliated to a particular hospital?
U Chicago Medicine and Advent Health.
Okay. Thank you.
Okay, thank you. Okay, we'll go, proceed then on the agenda and go back to the top of the agenda. And we have a couple of ones here that are together, so I'll read both of them first. 25-0362, an ordinance approving a revised plan description to amend a certain section of the Farnsworth International Plan description for the property located at 998 Corporate Boulevard, Aurora, Illinois. And then 25-0363, an ordinance granting a conditional use permit for a mental health facility limited to a residential treatment facility, including educational services for children and adolescents who demonstrate mental health and behavioral difficulties of the property located at 998 Corporate Boulevard. Hi, welcome.
Good afternoon, Tracy Vasek, Director of Zoning and Planning Division. The subject property is at 998 Corporate Boulevard and is currently a vacant building that was former occupied by the Sequel Youth and Family Service LLC. The property is within the Farnsworth International Plan Development District. In 2011, the City Council did approve a plan description amendment to allow autistic and special needs mental health facility as a conditional use in the Farnsworth International PDD. At the same time, they adopted an ordinance granting that special use for the autistic and special needs mental health facility. The City Council expressly limited the activities on that subject property to those that were outlined in their qualifying statement. In 2016, the City Council approved a revision to the special use allowing for an addition as it was an intensification of the previous special use, but preserved all of the conditions that were imposed with the previous special use and utilized the same qualifying statement. In 2021, the City Council did rescind that special use. It's now called a conditional use, but they did rescind it as they determined that the conditions of the special use were violated, warranting its revocation, and that with the closing of the facility, the special use was terminated by the operation of its own enabling ordinances. So the petitioner, Lydia Holmes, is here today, is now requesting an approval to the amendment of a plan description for the Farnsworth International Plan Development District. This amendment would allow for the application of a conditional use as it modifies the current conditional use language for the ORI West from autistic and special needs mental health facility to mental health facility limited to residential treatment facility, including educational services for children and adolescents who demonstrate mental health and behavioral difficulties. Concurrently with the proposal, the petition is requesting a approval of the conditional use for the mental health facility. The request is to occupy the existing 49,322 square foot building as is for the mental health facility, serving children from 12 to 21 years old who have mental health and behavioral challenges and difficulty living in a family setting. All the residents will be under the supervision of the Department of Children and Family Services and will be placed in this facility by DCFS. I will let the petitioner go into a little bit more detail of staffing, security, and what services that they will be providing at the location. Just to note, there is some minor cosmetic interior improvements and some security upgrades as the existing building already has the bedrooms, classrooms, gymnastic, dining room, and administration offices. With that, if you have any questions for me, I'd be happy to answer it. Otherwise, I can turn it over to the petitioner.
Do we know how many people will be living there?
The condition that we have placed on there would be 40, up to 40 children.
40 children?
Yes.
And how much staff is there during the day and the evening?
Yeah, so it would be 1 per 3 staff to child ratio, or child to staff ratio. So for if there's full occupancy of those 40 children, there would be 120 staff. That would be during the day. That's from 7 a.m. to 11 p.m. And then it would go down to 1 per 5 for the nighttime.
And this facility exists someplace else nearby, this type of facility?
They do have 2 locations. They have one in Chicago and they have one in Evanston.
Mm-hmm.
And they'll go a little bit more into that detail.
Great. Any questions,
I have
Tracy?
questions, but I
Yes.
believe that the petitioner probably answered them, so I'll wait and listen.
Okay. Yes, we would welcome the petitioner to step forward and present and introduce themselves.
Oh, no, you can come here.
Do you want?
I didn't know if you want to, want any presentation?
Or, I'm sorry, your presentation, or no?
No, I don't.
Okay.
Hi, my name is Dr. David Anderson. I'm a psychologist and the CEO of Lydia Home Association. Lydia Home is a nonprofit child welfare agency that is 110 years old. I didn't start it. And throughout our entire history, we've cared for kids in residential treatment. We have 2 other facilities. Both will be around the same size. One is currently in Chicago on the northwest side of the city, and the second one is currently in Evanston. And all of our work is to help children who are wards of the Department of Children and Family Services. And so as we'll be providing residential treatment and an on-ground school to provide education to the kids that are living in the facility. Our intent is for the kids, after their issues are resolved, their mental health issues are addressed and taken care of, the kids would return to a family setting, back to their parents, or as they get older, will need to move into independent living. And so that's what our intent is. We provide, all of what we do is regulated by the government with administrative rules around staffing ratios and the services that are provided to the kids, but we will provide individual and group therapy, occupational therapy. We'll have a psychiatrist that will be managing the kids' medication if they're on medication, a clinical psychologist that will oversee the clinical work of the kids, and then obviously social work and case management, because all the kids will be under the supervision of the court, the juvenile court. And so that's what we propose. We're excited to be able to be here. I believe it's a responsibility of our society to care for the most vulnerable kids in our society. And these are them, kids that aren't with their parents. There's very few other people interested in them, and they need loving and caring an environment to help them get back on their feet and hopefully eventually return to their folks if a judge determines that, or to a foster home setting. Is there any other questions you might have?
Are there other facilities in the region that compete with you to offer these types of services?
I wouldn't say compete. We're all nonprofits, and there's much more of a need for kids than there is space available. And so we don't see I mean, Lydia will be the largest provider in Illinois for kids that are wards of the state who need help, because we have such a great reputation with the state and are able to provide the services that they need. But we don't see ourselves as having competitors that are interested or available to help these kids.
Okay. Any questions from anyone? Alderwoman Smith?
Couple questions. Thank you for being here. So because these children are wards, not all children, some of them are adults, wards of the state, so this will be government funded? Is that
Correct.
okay?
We, just to clarify, they don't pay us enough, so we raise funds as well.
Okay.
And I do want to say, Lydia Home does foster care and other services, including Safe Families for Children, which is, we have a large presence in the Aurora area. We have probably 200 volunteers who help take in kids and support parents to prevent them from going into care. And so we're very familiar with the area. We have a presence in the other work that we do. And so this would fit well with what we're already doing.
And a couple questions about, so it appears from listening that the majority, so these children have special needs. Does it have anything to do with their mental functioning level or more their mental well-being? So there's the functioning level, and then there's, if mentally unstable. It's kind of two different things.
Well, as a psychologist, I'm not sure there is a difference. We identify all the kids of having a psychiatric diagnosis and mental health issues that impact their ability to learn, impact their ability to live in a regular family setting like a foster family. If they didn't have those, and if their mental health was treated and resolved, the intent would be for them to be able to live in a family. We believe kids should be in families if at all possible.
So you answered the question when you said that they have psychiatric disabilities. So
Yes.
it's in addition to the special needs that they may currently have.
Yes, mental health issues,
And then
right.
when you're educating them, do you have all grade levels? How are you educating them? Is it an individual program for each kid? Do you have a classroom type thing?
Well, currently we have a therapeutic day school, a therapeutic school that provides education for kids in our Evanston building, and we will do that same here.
Licensed teachers?
Yes.
Okay, so they'll be getting,
It'll be approved by the Board of Education for Illinois
okay, great,
and funded by the Board of Education.
good, even better, wonderful. Thank you so much.
Any other questions?
Yeah, I have a quick question. How many
Anyone else?
psychiatrists are you going to have?
We'll have one.
One for 40
Yeah.
students? Or,
Yeah.
And then if they needed to be hospitalized for an inpatient stay or an IOP program, do you partner up with the hospital for that?
No, the way the state works for kids that are wards of the department, there's another department under mental health services for the state. It's called SAS. And if a child is not doing well and we think needs hospitalization, we call SAS, and SAS determines whether they need hospitalization and where they would go. We don't have any say over that.
Okay. Thank you.
Okay,
Okay.
motion to approve.
Motion been made for approval from Alderwoman Garza, second by Alderwoman Smith. Anything more to present?
Thank you. We're very delighted to be here.
So that would be for the ability, the first one would be
Right.
then for the revision to the plan
Yeah,
description.
25-0362. Okay. And motion been made and seconded. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye opposed. Motion carried 4-0. Anything more to present on the second one?
And then we do have 5 conditions on the second one, and I could read those if you would like me
Please
to.
do.
Number 1, that no more than 40 children be or shall reside at the location at any given time. Number 2, that a minimum of 1 per 3 child to staff ratio between the hours of 7 a.m. to 11 p.m. and a minimum of 1 to 5 child to staff ratio between the hours of 11 p.m. to 7 a.m. be maintained at all times at this location. That the services provided at this location shall be limited to residents of the facility and their families and their caretakers, and no outside individuals shall receive services at this location. That a site plan showing the location of fencing / gates be submitted to and be reviewed and approved by the Zoning and Planning Division and Fire Prevention Bureau prior to submitting for building permits. This one is only if they're changing the fencing, and they talked in their qualifying statement that they may gate it. So that is why that is there, because we have not seen anything yet. And then the last one is that the application shall implement the previously approved landscape plans dated September 26, 2000 and dated June 8, 2016 in their entirety, and shall remove and replace all weeds, dead or dying landscaping prior to the certificate of occupancy.
Question?
Okay, yes.
Tracy, you said may gate. Is your Chicago and Evanston facilities gated?
No.
They're not gated, so you don't feel the necessity to gate them?
We'd like to have it as an option, but obviously the fire department and DCFS licensing has say-so whether that's allowed to be done or not, but we'd like to consider that.
Okay. All right, thank you.
Okay, no other questions?
Motion to approve?
Second?
A motion for approval from Alderwoman Smith, second by Alderwoman Garza. Any further discussion? All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, motion 4-0. Thank you, Dr. Anderson.
Thank you so much.
Thank you. Thank you, Tracy. The next 3 items, I believe, are related, and I'll read all 3 of them. The first one is 25-0776, an ordinance providing for the execution of an annexation agreement with the owners of record, providing for ORI C Office Research and Light Industrial District with a conditional use zoning for the territory which may be annexed to the city of Aurora, located south of Sunrise Road and east of Frida Lane on vacant land in DuPage County, Aurora, Illinois 60563. 25-0777, ordinance annexing property being vacant land located south of Sunrise Road and east of Frida Lane to the city of Aurora, Illinois 60563. And then lastly, 25-0778, an ordinance establishing a conditional use plan development, approving the Sheila Brown Trust property plan description and amending Chapter 49 of the Code of Ordinances of the City of Aurora by modifying the zoning map attached thereto to an underlining zoning of ORI Office Research and Light Industrial District for the property located south of Sunrise Road and east of Frida Lane. Jill.
Hi. Good afternoon, Jill Morgan, Senior Planner. So the petitioner is requesting approval of an annexation agreement for the 6.3 acres, which includes provisions that the property will be annexed and zoned Office Research and Light Industrial, ORI, with a conditional use for potential future development, the details of which are currently unknown. What I have up now is the concept plan that was submitted. The details of the request include an annexation agreement that outlines the annexing it into the ORI with that conditional use. The annexation agreement outlines the extension of the of Sunrise Road to be with the curb, gutters, and everything extending to the full frontage of the property. And the petition also requests the plan description, which outlines the bulk restrictions of ORI, so nothing of that is being changed. So it's our standard bulk restriction. It does require approval of final plans to be evaluated, for the elevations to be evaluated based on the quality and variety of building materials. It also outlines that one full access for the easternmost entrance and a restricted right in and left out access on the westernmost entrance for the semi-trucks, so that the trucks will take Frida Lane, and there should be signage. As I mentioned, there's no actual development being proposed. This is what you see as a concept plan. This concept plan does adhere to all the ORI bulk restrictions, including a 100-foot setback to the property to the east, which is zoned residential in the county. Any variations to the OI bulk restrictions will require a plan description revision, which would require a public hearing approved by City Council. The final plan would also then have to, once they get an actual use, it would have to come before Planning and Zoning Commission and then BZE for an appealable item. The ultimate goal is to eventually incorporate the properties with the few parcels to the east to do a one larger development. The area has been planned for office research and light industrial since the 1970s. The properties to the west are light industrials. The surrounding properties to the south is zoned industrial in Naperville. And the Naperville Comprehensive Plan identifies it as an employment center. The property to the east is zoned in DuPage County, as I mentioned, residential. But the Naperville's comprehensive plan designates their property to the east as an employment center. And then we did place, as I mentioned, the semi truck access is placed closest to Frieder Lane to have the semis take Frieder Lane. Is there any questions for staff?
Any questions for staff?
Quick question.
Yes, Alderman Smith.
I'm trying to get obviously I'm from out in that direction. I'm trying to get a grasp on where this is. I know it's Ward 10, I see that, but what's around it?
Okay, I should have brought the aerial map up. So to the north here, if you remember, we did a annexation a few years back for these properties. They all are consolidated, and they're currently like a warehouse type development on
Okay.
that. The properties to the west over here is another kind of large warehouse. That's the UP post office, UPS.
Okay.
Yeah. And then over to the east, farther east, you have that Naperville, those high-end garages for cars, if you are familiar.
It's like if you were heading towards that golfing
Yes.
places by that.
Okay.
It would be.
I know where Mediterranean Lane is, the road, okay. All right. I'll drive out there and take a look. Thank you. No problem. You want to take these one item at a time?
Yeah, I was just looking, were you going to, you were looking at a map?
And we do have the petitioner here, if there's any questions.
Do we have an aerial map?
I can bring that.
Yeah, we have it.
up real quick.
Bring that up.
Patty, this map is there.
Yeah, not that, I want this.
Wait, which one are you talking about?
Yeah, this is one.
Right here.
Yeah, so here is that like warehouse that we did a few years ago. The USPS is over here.
Okay.
And then you have Amazon and Fulfillment to the north, other warehouses. And then if you go further east, this is like those high-end garages for nice cars.
Okay, thank you. This makes more sense to me now. Thank you so much. I appreciate that.
Okay. Did the petitioner want to step forward and be introduced? John?
Good afternoon. John Philip Chuck, representing the petitioner. This is Sheila Brown Trust. With me this evening is Nigel Brown, one of the trustees, and Matt Werline from Semcon Engineering, who is doing the civil engineering with the plan at this point. The market conditions being what they were, we weren't able to actually find a buyer yet, but we're ready to list the property, and we felt that by getting it annexed and zoned, that basics would be underway. We'll be annexed to Fox Metro, so we would be able to be part of that. And, you know, the library district and the park districts, that's the Warrenville Park District over there, if you will recall. But yes, this is the biggest user out there. I think Short Paper is there on the north side of Deal, and then you got the fulfillment center for Amazon's out there. We're bordered on two sides by the city, and to the south, we're right on the line with the boundary agreement with Naperville. And so that's and as Jill mentioned, that's planned industrial in Naperville. And we just have those 3 parcels that are on the Aurora side of the boundary agreement that are still zoned residential in the county. So as a result, we showed a plan, a concept plan, how this property could be utilized for ORI with, you know, and meet the setbacks. Now, once we get a buyer, that persons would come in and apply for the zoning. You'd come back and be before you with their plans as to what exactly their proposed use is. So, but at this point, we just wanted to get the basics done, annexed and zoned. So that's
Okay.
our proposal at this point.
Right. Thank you, John. Any questions of the Attorney Philipchuk? No?
I will make a motion to approve the first item.
Second.
Thank you,
Motion been
John.
made for the first one for approval by Alderwoman Smith, second by Alderwoman Garza. Anything more to present, Cheryl?
The only other one thing I wanted to add, I will be making a slight change to the plan description. The intent was to allow this to be used as agriculture until it has a use, which is common for all of our, when we annex agricultural land. But I didn't actually write that out, specify that directly in the plan description, so I'll go make that alteration before it comes to COW.
Okay, thank you.
And which item will that be in the?
It would be for the third one,
The
the
third
plan
one, okay.
description.
Okay, so this is the first one, 25-0766, but motion been made in second.
Yes.
Any further discussion? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye, opposed, motion carried, 4-0. 25-0777.
So moved.
Second.
Moved by Alderwoman Smith, second by Alderwoman Garza. Anything more to present, Cheryl?
No.
Okay, all in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye, opposed, motion carried, 4-0. And the last one, 25-0778, is there a motion?
So moved with the.
Second.
With the additions,
Okay.
with the additions that Jill will be adding.
Right, it's been moved by Alderwoman Smith, second by Alderwoman Garza. Any further discussion? All in favor, say aye.
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 Opposed, motion carried, 4-0. Any other business to come before the BZ&E committee? If not, a motion for adjournment is in order.
Second.
Moved by Alderwoman Smith, second by Alderwoman Garza. It is 4:35 PM. All in favor, say aye for adjournment.
Aye.
Aye. Opposed, motion carried, 4-0. We are adjourned. Thank you, one and all.